Now, I get how some people could be down on the Cavs after how they ended this season last year. And I even get how some people could be reluctant to put them in a underrated category. But I do think that we have overcorrected, right? Where we might have been too high on the Cavs before the playoffs and their potential. Now we've overcorrected to a point to where I think we've gotten a little bit ridiculous on how low some people can get with this team. And I think this is going to be a really good team this year. Why? There's a lot of reasons. But first, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's videos, DraftKings. The NFL season is officially here, and I'm not sure about you, but my Sundays are starting to look exactly like this. Me parked in front of the TV all day in my favorite team's jersey, and I've partnered up with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the NFL, to bring all new customers an exciting way to join the action right now. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the promo code WORSTTAKEBET, $5, and boom, $200 in bonus bets instantly hits your account. So don't wait any longer. Get some skin in the game and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. That's right. New customers who bet just $5 on any wager get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, when you use the promo code CavsBurner. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays. Combine multiple bets together from the same game for a shot at it. Even bigger payout if sports betting is not available yet in your state. Don't worry, you can still join all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers use my promo code CavsBurner, bet $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code CavsBurner only at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, so I think the Cavs are not a popular team to pick right now amongst NBA circles, and I don't think that that's right. I think a lot of people have gotten super negative based on what they saw last year. And to be fair to those people, I can understand how you got there, right? There were some flaws in the Cleveland Cavaliers structure of their roster that got very much exposed. The fact that they don't have a real backup center is still an issue that they have to this day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Damian Jones is really like the backup center option that you dream of. And that's the only other guy listed at center other than Jared Allen at this time. So you don't have great options there. You don't have a lot of size. The Cavs have some height. They don't have a ton of size. They still have issues at the three, even though they've done things like, go out and get George Niang, even some Max Strus, like things like that, some spot shooting to help with that. So it's not like they've done nothing, but what they have done has been underwhelming compared to what they did last year, right? They didn't bring in James Harden or something like that, or a big star to fix the issues with this team. But I think it's important to remember that the issues that exist with this team are kind of supposed to be there because this team is very, very early in their run. What do I mean by that? I've made this point multiple times last year. I'll continue to make it. How many years were the Boston Celtics a playoff team with the current core that they have right now before they broke through and went to the NBA Finals? Multiple years, right? They started in 2018, 2019 against LeBron, and then they really didn't break through till 2021. Took them a while. A lot of questioning in between there. Kyrie trade, Kyrie leaves, whole lot happened. You can say the same thing with the Sixers, who haven't even gotten there. You can say the same thing with the Milwaukee Bucks, who took a real long time to get there. These things take time in the NBA. And why does it take time in the NBA? Because the players are younger in the NBA than in any other sport. And they're probably going to get even younger as more time goes on and they let high school guys jump straight into the league. This is not a flaw for the Cavs. This is a feature. Now, what are the problems that can go away with development? Well, one, the issues that they had offensive rebounding. I fully expect Evan Mobley to eventually become somebody who's large enough to be able to hold down, a quasi center position. He should be somebody, if you need an offensive rebound, he should be capable of getting that offensive rebound. Right now, or at least last year, he wasn't that guy. Another thing that factors into the offensive rebound conversation is, hey, there's no opportunity for an offensive rebound. Well, for a team to get a rebound on you if you make your shot, right? The Cavs were not a great shooting team and that got exposed. They had some good shooters on the team, right? They had some guys in the backcourt who can shoot a three in Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, sometimes Karis LeVert, sometimes Cedi Osman, but they didn't have shooters, spot-up shooters. Well, they got shooters, right? Georges Niang is somebody who is expected to spot shoot. Max Strus is somebody who's expected to spot shoot a little bit. They got some guys in there. Maybe Sam Merrill turns into somebody who could be a spot shooter. That's going to help spacing. The better spacing, the more space for guys like Evan Mobley to roll to the basket, for that pick and roll game to work and become even more deadly for that pick and roll to the basket, the alley-oop stuff, because the more leverage you have on offense to hold guys on the defense to the corners of the court. So if somebody set up for a corner three, your ability to make sure that that man who has the guy who's about to take the corner three does not leave his spot because he's a liability is vital. And the Cavs didn't have that, right? We had Isaac Okoro lining up there trying to shoot corner threes, trying to scare defenses, and that was just not enough. So you can see where the Cavs obviously ran into issues last year. So that's something that I expect to change. Another thing that comes with time is experience. And I think this is something that's been talked about less. I don't know if somebody has brought up the positives, because we do this thing whenever a sports league adds something new, to where we initially kind of shit on it, right? Because the players don't like it. So since the players don't like it, we want to be cool like the players. So we complain right along with the players and talk about how pointless it is and how nobody's going to care. And then 2 years later, it's something that we kind of enjoy. We did this with the 7th playoff seed in football. We did this with the 17th game in football. We did this with the play-in tournament in basketball. And we're doing this right now with the in-season tournament. I think this is going to be something that's very compelling. If you look at in-season tournaments in other leagues, they work. They're very entertaining. What do we always talk about in the NBA? There's always this dead period in the middle of the season because the season's long, arguably too long. And, from November to February, it's kind of, you know what I mean? It kind of matters. It kind of doesn't. It's kind of a dead period. Well, now you have the in-season tournament during that time. And I think that's going to be important. I think it's going to be fun for the people at home. And I also think it's going to be important for teams like the Cavaliers, because up until then, the only opportunity the Cavs have had to get that level of experience, I'm talking about playoff elimination game experience, has been in the postseason. And you got to work very hard to get into the postseason. You got to work very hard to get a spot that matters, where there's actually expectations of you. The Cavs really got to the point to where 6 games was, well, not even 6. They got 5 games of playoff experience, and they learned a lot in those 5 games. And you can see it really did hurt them that they only had that little of playoff experience there. I mean, from a coaching standpoint, and that's not going to change because it's not like you're doing series, but still. It looked like they could have used more experience. The in-season tournament can be an avenue for a young team to get some playoff experience. So I think that's ultimately going to be a really good thing for this team. So I think that is going to be helpful. The in-season tournament. I think just in general, more experience is going to be something that this team needs. More experience in elimination games, more experience in games that matter, more experience in national TV games. If that quote from Jared Allen is right, that the lights were too bright, then they need to practice with the lights on, right? They need to just get more experience with everybody watching them. And I think stuff like the in-season tournament can be helpful for that, because you can't get playoff experience, unfortunately, until the playoffs start. So that is another factor. I think people are a little bit low on Jared Allen. Look, Jared Allen's going to be a very helpful player for this team this year. We know he has some issues in the playoffs, and who's to say that Jared Allen doesn't get better? He's not like 40. He's 25 years old. Maybe he learned something from the experience in the playoffs and makes an adjustment to his workout and his training to help him get better at that. I know we like to act like the second the player has a flaw, that flaw defines them, but that doesn't have to be the case. Jared Allen is 25 years old. He can develop and fix some of these issues that he has. It's funny because we'll talk about this and believe it when we're talking about somebody like Darius Garland fixing their flaws, when we're talking about Evan Mobley fixing their flaws. But the second somebody gets to their second team, it's like it doesn't exist, that the player can get better. Donovan Mitchell being on this team for another year, being able to build better chemistry, have better spot shooting around him, is only going to make him better. Now, we know that if Donovan Mitchell's the best player on the team, there's an obvious ceiling on the team. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a successful season, because your season is not only defined by if you win the championship or not. Let's be real. A successful season for this Cavaliers team is not much different than what would be a successful season last year. You want to get to the playoffs, you want to get to the second round, and then see what happens after that. You're still waiting for young players to develop and take over. You want Darius Garland to develop and take over. You want Evan Mobley to develop and take over. You want to see what Emoni Bates has, right? If Emoni Bates ends up being a critical part to this role, let's say he's the Michael Porter Jr. of the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's going to take a while. It wasn't instant for Michael Porter Jr. to catch on in Denver, and it's not going to be instant for Emoni Bates. It's probably going to take him a year or two. He's probably going to hit his stride, if he does, at like 22, 23, and be an efficient enough player to help the Cavs, especially in a starting role, right? So it's going to take a while. This team's going to take a while. They're going to make some changes along the way. Some guys are going to go. Some guys are going to improve. Some guys are going to get worse. Some guys are going to get moved. But this is still a really good core. This is still a team with a lot of good young talent. And this is still a team that I believe in the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think people have been too low, or do you think I'm too high on the Cavaliers? Let me know in the comment section below. You have a great day.